DNR stating that they don't object. Likelihood that any building would ever be put in that area is slim to none. The discussion at the zoning meeting was, there wasn't any public input, and very brief discussion.
Make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Colvinson, second by Mr. Hansi. Any questions or comments or otherwise? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you. 8C, consideration of adoption of resolution 2013-109. Resolution ordering improvements and directing preparation of final plans and specifications of the project entitled 2014 Municipal Improvement Project, Mill Street Reconstruction Project. See attached resolution.
So we need this resolution passed so that you can move forward, finalize your plans, and get ready to go out to bid.
Correct. We still have to get MnDOT's approval on the plan.
I'll make a motion to approve it.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Colvinson, second by Mr. Hansi. Any other question or comment?
Just related to the public hearing, and I'm sure that there will be many opportunities for discussion and ideas to be exchanged about how we do actually end up having traffic rerouted and public safety issues handled correctly. Just like to make sure that we somehow get get a sentiment established here that this is a positive project for the city, and that we need to have ideas and all the ideas, and not a whole bunch of negativity and not a whole bunch of demands that that we can't necessarily meet. We really need to move this forward in a positive light. I'm hoping that we can look at a question that was mentioned to me after the public hearing, but I'm hoping that we can take a look at the church properties and how those assessments are handled. A number of churches along the route. I'm hoping that we can address the homeowners' concerns that in some of those hardship cases, as that one homeowner laid out, I'm hoping that there's enough cushion that we can be amenable to some of these things. So, and then just that one comment too about the bike trail. If we can maybe we can look at moving the bike trail to the other side of 16 or something, because that would sure free up the elevator area and the front of Rushford Foods, because that will be a mess, and we don't want to impact those businesses. So, just some comments for the record.
Anybody else? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the motion passes. Thank you. 8D, consideration of accepting the recommendation of the EDA to provide a city EDA guarantee of a line of credit at the Rushford State Bank for up to $30,000 for 90 days for Amy and Kevin Keller to continue working on their Jesse Street Java coffee shop and rental apartments. The Depending on the outcome of the bank appraisal, the EDA may have no role in the financing of the project or will participate as a gap financier. See attached excerpt from the EDA 10/9/2013 meeting minutes and staff report.
Your Honor, we met with the fellers in subcommittee a couple of weeks ago, and then they left to go to Seattle for a convention. And in the meantime, asked for their permission to talk over their project with a local bank. They had already approached 2 banks and been rejected, and so our policy requires, in order to get funding from the EDA, that they have to have 2 rejection letters, which they received. The subcommittee felt that this is the type of loan which would best be suited to be placed at a bank where at all possible. EDA doesn't want to be in competition with a bank for loans, and so with their permission, talked to the new banker at Rushford State Bank, and then when the fellows came back, we all went over and sat in a conference, went through their building, did a little walkthrough, and then met and talked with the bank. The bank is very interested in working with them on a business loan, and this would alleviate the EDA being the sole financier, which is a position I think that we're trying to drive at for the majority of our projects, certainly whenever possible. The difficulty is that they're starting making progress and they want to continue that. The only way to do that is, in the meantime, there's 30, maybe 60 days that the bank is going to be doing their due diligence. So I asked if the bank would be willing to give them a revolving line of credit, and the bank was, for the amount, for $30,000, which would allow them to keep working while the loan's being processed. The bank in turn asked that the EDA would be willing to guarantee the line of credit, and went back to the EDA at our last meeting and put the case in front of them, and the EDA agreed that guaranteeing the revolving line of credit was a good move. If the loan comes through from the bank, the revolving line of credit would be rolled into the larger loan. The bank may take over the entire financing piece, in which case the EDA will no longer be involved. All we've done is help them to continue to make progress. Or worst case, there'll be a sharing of EDA funds and bank funds. I think this is a unique opportunity for us to support a local business as it gets off the ground, and also to move it into what I think is a better financing position for them and for the bank, and for the EDA as well. We're not tying up our funds where they're not needed. Any comments, Tom?
Just one thing, again, as with the motel, hypersonic, all of these things we've been talking about lately, the co-op, the community center, where the discussion starts isn't where we end up. And when the fellows first came to us, there was one approach. CETA accepted them as a client and produced a very, very good business plan, which wasn't present when they first applied. But also what happened then is the budget increased. They started counting all the widgets and all the products and all the construction, and so the cost escalated. And then, as Steve pointed out, it just seemed way more than the EDA could take on. It certainly is without some sort of a gap. But that's when the question of the bank came up, because the bank previously had not seen this work plan, the business plan that CETA helped produce. And so, just to echo what Steve has said, I think as an EDA and how we approach these companies in the future, keeping CETA involved, helping applicants, not just by saying yes with the loans, but giving them business advice and help plan